Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of the Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel and checking out today's video. We're going to be talking about a inexpensive, cheap crankbait that catches the fire out of bass. That's the thing about lures anymore, guys. There are so many different type of lures out there. So many of them are super expensive, but I got one crankbait here that, guys, I have caught so many fish on it over the past decade. And it's a cheaply made crankbait, but there's something about it, the fish just love it. So I'm going to show you what it is to guys today, talk about some tips and advice on when to fish it and the conditions it works in. So we'll get into that in today's episode. Also, guys, quick invitation just to please hit that subscribe button here to the Fishing Teacher if you like that content. Much appreciated with that. And also, thank you very much for everybody that's been using all the links I put in the description, especially like my lake map breakdowns and my solar bat sunglasses link. Really appreciate that. Okay guys, here it is. It's the Bandit 200 crankbait. You guys may be familiar with it. If you're not, this is a lure made by Bandit Lure Company. I've been using it for years. It doesn't look special, guys. It looks just like a typical, small, medium running crankbait. But one of the things about crankbaits that you'll find, certain crankbaits produce far better than others. And a lot of it has to do with the profile, the water displacement that it has, the wiggle, the vibration, just a combination of things that generates a strike from a bass. You can have a crankbait that looks great, that looks super realistic, but if it doesn't have all the triggering characteristics, you're not going to catch many fish on it. But guys, there's something about this 200 Bandit. The bass just love this thing. And it's a cheap crankbait. It's not very expensive. The components on it are cheap. It's gotten a little bit better, but the hooks on it are not great and the split rings are not great. And sometimes they don't run straight. You have to adjust the eye on it to get them to run straight. But guys, I can tell you right now, this right here is one of my favorite lures of all time. I mean, I've caught so many bass on a Bandit 200 crankbait, even though it is a cheap lure. I've got a box full of them and I use them a lot. It's really, really good. So let's talk a little bit about when it does work the best, the different situations. Now, the Bandit 200 is super versatile in terms that you can catch fish on it around wood, grass, rock, whatever that you're fishing. It comes through the wood pretty good. For a bait that has a bill on it, it actually deflects through the water pretty good, which is one of the triggering mechanisms with it. And I've caught fish on a wide variety of conditions. I've caught fish on cranking shallow drop-offs with it. I've caught them cranking wood stumps. I've caught them fishing it over grass. I've caught them cranking on gravel banks. I've caught them cranking it on bluff banks, on rocky banks. There's literally not a situation where I have not been able to catch the bass on this thing. And also, this is one of the things that really, really impresses me about this bait is it works in a wide range of water temperatures. A lot of crankbaits that you fish are seasonal in terms that they work better at certain different water temperatures. For example, like flat side crankbaits and wiggle warts work good in cold water. Square bill crankbaits work good in warm water. Deep diving crankbaits work better in warm water, like the big deep diving plugs. But the Bandit 200, guys, this thing works all year long. I catch bass on this thing anytime the water temperature is over 45 degrees. I don't care if it's the pre-spawn, the post-spawn, the summertime, the fall time of the year. This thing produces all freaking year long. It amazes me that it's that versatile. So some of the favorite things I like to do with it is like in the pre-spawn period of the year when the water temperature's in the 50s, I love cranking riprap with it. A Bandit 200 is one of the best riprap cranking baits that you're ever going to have. It just catches tons of fish on riprap or, just any type of rocky bank during the pre-spawn. As the water warms up a little bit, you can catch a ton of fish on this thing in dirty, shallow water around wood cover. So the Bandit, this thing is on 8-pound test line. This thing is going to run probably about 7 or 8 foot deep on a long cast. So it's good on those rocky banks and riprap. But in the summertime of the year, I'll put it like on 17 or 20-pound test line, and I'll fish it in the same places that I throw a square bill crankbait. I'll throw it around lay down trees and stumps and logs in the water, in dirty water. So I'm looking for water visibility in the summertime with this thing, probably under 12 inches, anywhere between 6 inches to a foot of visibility in the summertime when you have woods, like in less than 5 foot of water. Try this Bandit, because a lot of people that fish like a square bill crankbait or jig or spinner bait around wood in the dirty water in the summertime, you can deflect this little Bandit off of there and catch a bunch of them. And it also becomes a really good bait fishing shallow rock again in the fall time of the year. In the fall time of the year, they like small crankbaits. This is a perfect profile with it. So again, in the fall time of the year, when that water is still hot and the fishing's tough, if I can find just some type of shallow rocky bank, I catch a bunch of fish on it too. And all the way through the fall when it gets colder, fishing a little bit steeper stuff. But I just wanted to share it with you. I don't know if you guys have fished this thing very much. Like I said, I'll link it in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description if you guys want to pick up a couple of them. I use a bunch of different colors. It just depends on the water visibility and the skylight conditions, but anything between a shad to a brighter color. This is one of my favorites. This is called the root beer right here. I've caught a bunch of fish on it. But anyway, guys, I'll link that in the description if you want to try it. So hope it helps out. See you guys later.